Our top story this morning, police have killed the suspect accused in the fatal shooting of a President Trump supporter in Portland last weekend. CBS's Laura Podesta has details and examines an interview with the suspect where he explained his action.
Speaking to Vice News in what may be his final interview, Michael Forrest Reinell admits to killing a supporter of President Trump this weekend, but insists he did it in self-defense.
I had a choice. I could have sat there and watched them kill a friend of mine of color, but I wasn't going to do that.
The 48-year-old claims his life was being threatened by counter-protesters who were caravanning through Portland.
Had I not acted, I am confident that my friend and I'm sure I would have been killed.
Police say Reinell shot and killed Aaron J. Danielson, a supporter of the right-wing Patriot Prayer Group, Saturday night. Then last night, 5 days later, Reinell was killed by law enforcement agents as they tried to arrest him more than 100 miles north of Portland in Lacey, Washington.
There was a confrontation between the officers that were on scene and the subject. The information that we have at this time is that the subject was armed. There was shots that were fired into the vehicle, and the subject fled from the vehicle, at which time there was additional shots that were fired.
Reinell had described himself as 100% anti-fascist. He also suggested the tactics of counter-protesters amounted to warfare and says he'd been shot at one protest and cited for having a gun at another. He'd been a regular presence at anti-racism demonstrations in Portland, which have been ongoing since the death of George Floyd in May. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
With unruly demonstrations in Portland nearing the 100-day mark, Oregon Governor Kate Brown called for an end to the violence.